So I guess let's conclude with this. If someone is listening right now, and no matter how they got to this moment, but they would, if they're honest, they would say, "I'm survival mode." Whatever that looks like, they say, "I'm survival mode. I literally am just holding on till bedtime. I wake up, I do it all over again."
Yeah.
What would you tell them is the first step? It's like just, it's like not a 10 plan, just one thing to do to break or catalyze movement out of survival into the abundant life that Jesus has promised.
I'm trying not to say two things, but
I will not. I will not take credit off.
So here's what I would say. I would say, and this is actually three things, but it's a very clear.
Go for it.
Wake up, make your bed, get in God's word.
All right. So each one of those aspects, explain why you put it that way.
Well, if you're in survival mode, you're lacking the purpose and meaning and reason to wake up. You're lacking your raison d'être, right? Your reason for being. And so a lot of times you don't even want to get out of bed. That was me for the first several months. I was like, I don't even want to get out of bed. My New Year's resolution for the very first year, 2016, was make your bed. Make your bed. And you actually borrow that from it's like a military. It's the first discipline that they do in the military. Yeah. Well, why is that? Because it sets your mind on purpose, right? It trains your mind for purpose. It says, well, I'm not going to get back in my bed, or I'm less likely to because I just made it. And I'm doing something with my hands that is propelling me forward, right? Making my bed means that there's another task that's after this.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily know what that is, but I'm at least going to do something right now on purpose. And when you're in survival mode, especially after a deep traumatic loss or anything like that, but if you're just feeling like, I don't want to get out of bed, the first thing that I think you need to do is wake up, get out of bed, make your bed. And then I really strongly believe that if you can carve 15, 20 minutes and you can just sit in the presence of God, open up his word, and maybe you need some supplementary material to help you with that, whatever. But if you can just allow God to have the space to show up for you, he will.
Yeah.
And he'll move and he'll begin to transform your mindset. And then he'll begin to show you the steps that you need to take from there. But I think those are the first two steps.
There it is. And, I do want to just, again, recognize each person we've talked to, they seem to have, I think it's probably built into their own, how God has wired them and how he's given them personality and how they think and feel and all this good stuff. But each person seems to connect with a different discipline, deeply. That's how they connect with God. And it does seem like God's word for you has been a consistent anchor, a discipline that's cultivated. Even me having both conversations with you and hearing you preach and how God's word flows out of your mouth because you truly have stored it into your mind and your heart is really powerful. And I love that you're now saying, okay, now I want to give that to other people. I want to take what I've experienced and seen and learned and grown in, and I want to give that away. But people have to engage with it themselves and have to dive in. And so I hope people are challenged, and it would catalyze for people to grow in a love and appreciation of God's word that he's given us. Right. And so I love the nuance that seems to be happening in each episode. It's like a different thing has come to light, and it's almost like God's shining a light on something. I think today it's Sabbath and God's word, and helping us get out of survival. So